of the most in-demand skills right now. So, whether you're into data analysis, market research, or even building AI models, web scraping is a crucial tool to gather data efficiently.
That's right. In fact, according to what I've researched, over 70% of data-driven companies rely on web scraping to collect data for their business decisions. Imagine from e-commerce to finance, web scraping is literally everywhere.
Yes, and that's exactly why this workshop is so important. Whether you're a beginner or someone looking to refine your skills, tonight's session will give you the foundation you need to start scraping the web like a pro.
Totoo yan, El, kasi side story lang nung first time ko mag-try ng web scraping, akala ko parang magic lang siya na you will click here, click there, and boom, may data ka na for your projects. Pero there's more to it than pala. And that's what we're here to explore tonight.
That's right, partner. And now that you have shared your experience, partner, tanungin muna natin yung viewers natin. Na-try nyo na ba mag-web scraping? So guys, what's your current relationship with web scraping? Ito be honest. Type in the chat, newbie if you've never tried web scraping before, explorer if you've tried it but still getting the hang of it, or pro if you're already scraping the boss about the web. Yan. And hey, if you're thinking, wait, ano ba tong web scraping na to? Si Spider-Man ba to? No, no worries. Just type clueless in the chat and we've got you covered. Yun, as you can see, ayan, madaming newbie dito. Ako din, newbie din ako. Ayan. Don't worry guys, we'll learn about it later. Ayun, napakadaming responses nga. Puro newbie nga yung nakikita dito sa atin. At mukhang energized and very excited ang ating mga viewers and learners for today to learn web scraping. Yan. And it's amazing to see everyone na engaged talaga and ready to learn. So, to finally kick off our tonight's session, we have someone who is passionate about data and technology and it's deeply committed to helping others grow in their learning journeys. Everyone, please welcome our data and machine learning lead, John Paul Curada, to share some inspiring opening remarks. Let's give him a warm virtual round of applause.
Ayan. So, hi everyone. Thank you for that introduction. Sana nakita ako. Okay. So, medyo matagal-tagal tayong nawala because of the holiday breaks and super hectic that tasks or academic workloads nung January. By the way, can I see some reactions if naririnig naman ako na maayos? Okay, nice. Thank you. So, quick recap lang muna. Last November and December, we ran workshops focused on Google Sheets, Looker, and Intro to Python. We also gave data NML members access to DataCamp licenses para you can learn at your own pace kung ano man yung topics na gusto nyo. Plus, we created a roadmap to guide your learning journey. So if di ka pa DataCamp scholar, pasabi na lang din kasi we are willing to give you right away. Okay? Now, ngayon, we are running a workshop called From Fragments to Findings. Another Python workshop series ulit. So, bakit ganun, JP? So, next slide, please. Ayan, pa next slide lang. Ayan, thank you. So, if we look at data professional workflow, we're here at the first phase. Okay, so after natin matuto ng mga basic knowledge sa mga primary tools like Python, Sheets, noong November or December, ngayon naman, nasa data preparation stage na tayo. We need to learn different ways to collect data, big data. I'm assuming na most of you who are starting your projects or nakapag-start na are working with static data. What I mean by that is yung mga CSV, Excel, or yung mga data na nanggaling sa Kaggle, Open Data Philippines, Hugging Face, or other open data platforms sa internet. Next slide, please. Ayan. Ngayon, there are various ways to collect data para sa analysis or sabihin natin businesses. In this workshop, From Fragments to Findings, we will delve into data preparation stage. On the first day, ngayon yun, we will cover the basics of web scraping. On the second day, we will learn data cleaning basics with pandas and regular expressions or regex na tinatawag. Then on the third day, we will have a session about data collection through application programming interface or API. Okay? So today's workshop will teach you new ways to collect data, specifically yung web data through web scraping. Now, baka nakikurious kayo, saan ba ito ginagamit? Na-mention kanina ni Ivan, since AI and large language models or LLMs are becoming more common, you should know these models are trained using web data. So if you want to train or fine-tune a model, web scraping is our way to get that training data. Pero hindi lang yan. Sa banking and finance, ginagamit din ito to track market trends by collecting stock prices and financial news. So kung alam niyo yung mga Binance, kung alam niyo yung mga available API like Y-Finance from Yahoo, doon ginagamit yan. Sa e-commerce naman, companies use web scraping to check competitors' prices and product listings. Even researchers and journalists also use web scraping to gather data for their studies and stories. Okay? So, simple example, if gusto mo gumawa ng price comparison website, web scraping ang way to automatically get updated prices from different online stores like Shopify, Lazada, Shopee. Pero alam ko yung Shopee sa Lazada medyo strict sila pagdating sa web scraping. So, kailangan ng matinding legal approach yun or kaya programming skills. Now, anyway, ngayong araw, our speaker will guide us through the basics of web scraping using Python. This is beginner friendly, pero we require you to have a Python fundamental knowledge. Okay? Kasi we will be using Python. And also, I encourage everyone to listen well and code along. Our speaker will share a Colab notebook, Google Colab notebook mamaya, and please use that notebook to practice as we go through the session. Okay? So I hope you will learn something new today, and let's begin. Thank you.
Ayan. Thank you so much, JP, for those powerful and inspiring words. Grabe kakaibang energy ang binigay mo sa amin to kick off tonight's session. Now, it's time to take things to the next level. Al, will you do the honor of introducing our main speaker for tonight?
Tumpak ka dyan, partner. But before that, let me quickly remind everyone, meron po tayong Slido na nakaraan para sa mga questions nyo. As you can see on the screen, please scan it now or take a screenshot. So, if ever may tanong kayo sa kalagitnaan ng discussion ng speaker, you may open the Slido and input your questions there anonymously. Yun. Bigyan ko yung time. Ayan. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, without further yapping, we are thrilled to introduce our main speaker for tonight. Someone who's not only an expert in web scraping, but also a fantastic senior data and machine learning associate who knows how to make complex topics fun and easy to understand. Whether you're a complete beginner or someone looking to level up your skills, tonight's discussion will equip you with the tools and knowledge to start scraping like a pro. Everyone, please join me in giving a warm virtual welcome to Miss Angelica Loro.
Hi, wow, flattering naman ng words. Parang di ata ako yung dinadescribe nyo. So yeah, hi everyone. Nice to meet you all. I'm going to share the screen na. Wait. So yeah. Can you see it, guys, in your end? Let me see some reaction, guys, kung nakikita niyo po sa end.
At hindi pa yata siya visible sa amin.
Oh, okay. Let me
Or
try
ako sa
it.
akin lang.
Oh, wait, let me try it again. Sorry. Ata na. Ayan. Is it okay?
Yes po, okay na po. Visible na po.
Ayan. So, sorry for that technical difficulty. So, hi everyone. I'm Angela, and just like our amazing host said, I'll be your speaker for tonight's session, in which we will be discussing how to web scrape using Beautiful Soup. So, since na-mention na kung ano ba yung web scraping, we still have to define kung ano muna ba yun, right? So, basically, web scraping is about extracting data from websites using automation. Also, alam nyo ba, through web scraping, we can transform unstructured data from website kasi naka-HTML format siya into a structured form like CSV, JSON, spreadsheet, and even database na pwede natin gamitin sa paggawa nga ng EDA, ETL din, pwede din, data monitoring, and even sa pag-train ng mga model, which na-mention na ni JP. Also, there are a lot of tools that we can use to do web scraping, like Excel, Power BI, and also I think Google Sheet din meron kasi they have options to get data from the web talaga, which is very awesome kasi imagine just like inserting a link, then clicking some button, parang ini-scrape niya na yata yung, or kinagather niya na yung data from the site. Pero it's still case-to-case basis kasi minsan, it can be different talaga. Which is why ang pinaka-popular talaga when it comes to web scraping is yung Python, which we have been using nga this past jam session. And the reason for that is because si Python, meron siyang variety of libraries that are made specifically sa web scraping. Like, I don't know if you're already guys familiar with Selenium, Playwright, Scrappy. Pero for tonight, we will be using Beautiful Soup, which is this. So, ano nga muna ba yung Beautiful Soup, diba? So, Beautiful Soup, isa siyang library under Python that creates a parse tree out of the HTML files from the website, which is makes it easy for us para i-find and pull out yung mga text and attributes na naka-under dun sa element tag and class. Kasi by pulling an element tag, malalaman agad natin yung title ng website, yung header or yung content ng header, content ng paragraph, and even yung links na naka-embed dun sa website na ini-scrape natin, etc. So basically, ganun lang yung Beautiful Soup. So yeah, so further ado, let's begin scraping, which is the fun part. So the first thing, as always, kailangan natin i-load yung mga necessary libraries, which is si request. So import muna natin si request. And si Beautiful Soup. So, bakit nga ba natin kailangan i-import si request? Well, it's because si request, yung library na yun, siya yung magfe-fetch nung website na gusto natin i-scrape. So yeah, let's run it. Ayan. So the next part naman, let's go to the another cell, which is this. Makikita nyo na nakaload na yung site na gagamitin natin for the demo or for the scraping. So, ito yung site na yun. So yeah, as you can see, simple lang talaga siya. Yep. Pero, even though it's simple, it already provides yung mga need natin for the demo. Katulad nung sa title of the page, yung mga link na gusto natin i-scrape, and yung header and ganyan. And also, this site came from Kate Gaddy, who is actually a YouTuber. Pwede niyo siyang i-check kasi he creates a great tutorial about data analysis and data science. So, I really recommend him to you guys. So, yeah, going back. So, other than that, nakita nyo rin nag-declare ako dito ng authentication credentials. So, ano bang purpose ng authentication credentials? So, the purpose of this is, ito yung nagsaserve ng client identification para malaman ni website server kung sino ba nagre-request at nag-ask ng access dun sa site niya. And also through this, makakatulong siya sa client / sa atin to have more access dun sa site. So, yeah, using the request, let's try to fetch name size, which is this. So I'm just going to create a variable called response, then request dot get URL equal, papas lang natin yung URL and yung headers, then header. Then let's run it. And ayan. So, after that, what I always do naman next is check ko yung status code ni website. Kasi dito natin malalaman if pwede ba natin ma-access yung website or not. So there's a lot of status code na pwede nyo ma-encounter. But I provide only 3 kasi ito yung mga pwedeng mga common na possible natin ma-encounter, which is yung 200, 403, at yung 500. So ang ibig sabihin ng 200, it means we have successfully accessed the site. Meaning, pwede na natin yung ma-scrape. Kapag 403 naman, it means wala tayong permission to access or scrape the site kasi naka-private ito. At kapag 500 naman, may temporary issue dun sa website server end. So, it's either naka-down siya or so on. So, kapag na-encounter niyo itong dalawa, some possible solution for that is gagamit kayo nga na itong header. Pero if hindi siya gumana, kailangan niyo na gumamit ng different library like Selenium or Playwright. So yeah, going back. So check na natin siya. So to check it, kailangan natin gumamit ng if statement. So if the response dot status code is equals to 200, then mag-print tayo ng success para alam natin na okay, na nakaano siya, na pwede natin siya ma-access. Then soup. And then kapag success siya, pwede na natin siyang i-convert into a beautiful object, yung website na i-scrape natin. So, which is .text, HTML, and ayan. Then else naman, i-print lang natin kung ano yung error, kung bakit hindi tayo maka-access. Ayan, so let's run it. At ayan, success siya. So, meaning, pwede natin siya i-scrape. So, tignan natin kung anong itsura nung beautiful object, which is nandun nga sa soup variable. So, print natin siya. At ito yung itsura niya, makita. So, kung gusto niyo siya maging readable, pwede niyo siyang lagyan ng prettify function para makita niyo yung indentation niya. So, to do that, just going to print and soup.prettify. And ayan. And ayan. So, mas readable siya kasi nga naka-embed siya. So, before we proceed, gusto ko kayo bigyan ng a little bit of recap kung paano babasahin or paano malaman yung relationship ng element tag sa bawat isa. So, ito lang yun. Malalaman nyo, may dalawa lang yun, which is yung anak or yung kapatid. So, malalaman nyo kung anak ang isang element tag kapag naka-indent siya or nakapaloob siya sa isang element tag. So, one example of this is ito, si title. As you can see, itong si element tag na title, naka-indent siya or nakapaloob siya dito kay head. Meaning, itong si title ay anak ni head. At kapag sibling naman, wala siyang indentation, meaning nasa isang line siya. So, mapapansin nyo, itong si body, kapatid niya si head. So, yun lang. So, remember niya lang yun, guys. Kapag kapatid, same line lang sila. At kapag anak, nasa loob siya or nasa loob siya ng intention. So, yun lang yan. So, let's proceed now with the fun part, which is mag-illustrate na tayo. So, ay, nakakasabay ba? Ayun. Nice, nice. So, yun. Doon na tayo sa fun part, which is mag-scrape na tayo using find and find all. So, ano bang pinagkaiba ng find and find all? So, kapag find, basically, ginaget niya yung first element or yung content na nagmamatch dun sa description or element tag na pinas natin. Kapag find all naman niya, retrieve niya yung all elements na nagmamatch dun sa element tag na pinasa natin. So, I'd like for you guys to understand lalo. Let me show you guys na lang. So, how about kunin natin itong CH2, which is a header since siya lang naman. So, kapag find, ang dapat na output natin ay ito, si a header by using the find function. So, let's header equals to soup.find. Papasa lang natin yung element tag, which is CH2. Then, print header. And ayan, nakuha natin si header. Ayan. So, para naman mawala tong element tag na to, which is h2, we can use the text function. At ayan. Ayan, nawala na siya. See? Tapos, kapag si find all naman, ang expected output naman natin, since dalawa yung h2, di ba? Kung makikita nyo to, si a header and another header. So, pag si find all ginamit natin, ang dapat na lumabas na output ay si a header and another header. So, let's do it. So, soup dot find all. Then, h2. Then, headers unang class. At ayan, o, di ba? Lumabas siya. So, tanggalin na lang natin yung element tags. So, parang matanggal yung element tags, kailangan natin gumawa ng list comprehension para gawing text yung each string na nakalagay dun sa, dun sa header. txt.headers. So, yeah. Ayun. See, ganito lang siya. So, yun yung pinagkaiba ng find and find all from each other. Now, let's proceed naman kung what if ang ipapasa nating element tags ay multiple, like hindi lang h2. Let's say gusto natin makuha yung content ni h2 at ni element tag na p. Possible ba yun? Yes, possible siya, lalo na sa find all. So, ito magiging itsura niya kapag ang pinasa natin, kapag ang ipapasa natin is multiple list. So, kailangan natin ilagay sa list siya. Tapos, ilagay lang natin yung element tag na which is h2 and c2. Then, gawin na lang natin siyang text, which is, ayun lang din, txt.text for txt in all data. And all data. Kasi find. Okay. So, ayan, nakuha natin, which is, ito, yung sa paragraph, a header, yung sa paragraph din, another header, and yung sa paragraph, So, kapag find naman, possible din ba yun? So, hindi siya possible. Well, actually, tingnan na lang natin, which is nakita niyo naman. Copy na lang natin to. Then, print lang natin this. Ayun, hindi gumana. Bale, ang nakita niya lang is ito, si P. Bakit P lang yung nakita niya? Dalawang pinasa natin. Kasi, ang unang nakita ni find ay si P, yung element or yung content ni element tag na P, hindi si H2. So, laging tandaan lang, kapag si find, rina-return niya lang yung first element lagi na may i-encounter niya. Kahit multiple elements pa yung pinapass nyo, basta kung sino lang yung makita niya, yun lang yung i-return niya. Compared kay find all na lahat ng pinapass yung element tags, kung i-retrieve niya talaga. So, yun lang yun. So, next is sa nesting naman. So, sa nesting naman, using find, nag-work lang siya kapag sa mga anak, which is the discuss ko earlier, di ba? Nag-work lang siya sa anak-anak. So, So, para lang sa example natin for that is dito. So, from body, which is anak na si Dave, pupunta tayo dito. And then, ang pinaka dapat output natin si H1, which may content siyang HTML web page. Bale, naka-nesting kasi sila, so ito yung example for that. So, yeah. Bale, ang mangyayari dapat is from body na element tag, pupunta dito sa H1, dapat makuha natin itong content ni H1, which is HTML web page. So, yeah, let's proceed. So, from body yan, diba? So, we're going to soup.find body. Then div, using yung sa body, kasi nga mag-nesting tayo, provide naman natin yun si div. And from header, from div, hanapin natin si H1. So, dapat, ang magiging output natin, like I mentioned, is HTML web page. Which is, ayan, nakuha natin. Diba? Ang galing. Tuwa ako. So, ayan. Next naman is using parameter attributes. So, dito sa parameter attributes, bale, ang purpose nito is dito natin nilalagay yung mga class name and ID name, which I feel like you're already familiar with it. So, an example ng ID name is ito. Ayan. So, basically, ang gagawin natin is ipapass lang natin tong ID name, tapos dapat ang expected output natin is etong si some bold text. So, let's do it using the attributes. We'll just copy na lang para hindi na ako babalik. Okay. So, let's see text na lang. Then, find yung key since nasa element tag siya ng key, tapos gagamit tayo ng attributes parameter. Tapos, nasa ID siya. And ang ID name niya ay itong si paragraph ID. Then, let's print it, text, dot text. At ayan, nakuha natin siya, some bold text, by using the ID name and also pwede rin siya mag-work na class name, which I mentioned before. Next naman is yung using parameter na string under the find or find all. So, dito, using the parameter string naman, dito natin pwede makuha yung content ng isang element based lang dun sa string na pinasa natin. Okay. So, hanap tayo ng example ulit. Ano ba? Okay. Ito na lang ulit, which is itong si sum. So, gusto natin makuha yung content na may word na sum. Ayan. So, dapat ang expected output natin si sum italicized text at si sum bold text. So, let's do it. Let's just name it sum na lang. So, soup that find all and then string. Ay, wait. Kailangan pala natin gumamit ng regex. Sorry. Naggugutok ko. So, import muna pala tayo ng regex. So, re.compile. And then, pasa natin yung may word na sum. And those. Ayun lang din. So, ayun, nakuha natin yung isang content or text na merong word na sum, which is yun nga, yung some italicized text and some bold text. Pero what if in some instances, like itong first letter, it can be either capital or not. Like an example, have tayo ng example. Ano ba? Like pwede siyang dapat may header and small letter na header. Possible ba yun? Yes, possible yun. So, using the regex ulit. So, ayun, na expected output natin is a header and another header. So, hindi tayo gagamit ng element tag, okay? So, input na lang natin sa header. And so, dot find all. String ulit. Then, dot compile. So, ibig sabihin niyan, yung naka-parenthesis is H na big letter or small h, then header. So, ayun ulit. Just going na lang ito. And header. Ayun, nakuha natin yung merong capital na header and may small letter na header, di ba? So, lastly naman, sa parameter under the find and find all, or rather, is yung pag-get natin ng attribute ng isang element tag. So, ano ba yung attribute muna? So, yung attribute is, it's either nakalagay siya sa isang class name or ganito, dito sa link. So, ito yung example ng isang attribute ng isang element tag. Yan yung may mga links, pictures, or etc. So, basically, ang goal natin is kunin or makuha itong si link. So, to do that, kailangan din natin gamitin yung get function under the beautiful soup. So, name na lang natin siya ng link. When soup does find A, kasi nasa A naman siya, tapos i-get natin yung attributes niya na si href. So, let's print it. At ayan, nakuha natin siya. So you can see guys, apaka-basic siya niya. And overall, ito talaga yung pinaka-fundamentals when it comes to web scraping using Beautiful Soup. Imagine using find and find all, pwede nyo nang ma-scrape yung different site. Well, it's based pa rin sa site. So ganun lang siya guys. So yeah. Did you guys learn something ba? Nice, nice. So now we can proceed on applying yung natutunan natin dito sa in real life situation at by saving it into a CSV file. So ang gagamitin natin na site for that, which is etong sa script this site. So ito siya. Wait, naka-ano na pala siya. So ito yung itsura niya, yung script this site. So etong script this site it's very for mga beginners and also good website para ma-hone yung skills nyo sa web scraping. Kasi may mga, besides this, meron pa siyang mga different types of example pa. So, ito yung site na i-scrape natin, okay? So, ang goal natin here is kukunin natin yung country name, yung capital name, which is ito, yung population ng country, at yung area ng country. So, yun yung goal natin here. So, I already load the site na here. So, the next thing we need to do is ayun, i-fetch na natin siya using yung request, which, ayun lang din, yung pinakita ko sa inyo, yun lang din gagawin natin is gagamit tayo request.get, then URL. Since naka-define na yung header, we're just going to use it. Na lang. Then, since eto, accessible naman na siya, hindi na natin i-check kung parang accessible ba siya or not kasi it's already accessible na kasi it's for use made for web scraping talaga. So we can just go to converting it into a beautiful soup. So response.text and HTML. Ayan. So print natin siya. Request.get URL headers. Bakit? Interesting. Let me just hala, bakit? Wait lang. Values unpack. Okay. Just going to bakit kaya? Let me check muna. Interesting. Bakit? Run this again. And then, play natin copy ulit ng site. Is this? Then, tingnan natin kung ba. Or baka tayo natin URL 1. Let's just pause. People usually pause. URL, what's URL 1? Ayun. So, was yes. Response the text. Then, HTML. Print natin yung soup. Ayun. Nag-work na siya. Nag-error kanina siya. So, ayun. Nag-run na siya. As you can see, ito yung itsura nung beautiful object nung site na to. And ang haba niya, di ba? Kapag ganito nakahaba, ginagawa ko na lang is pupunta na ako sa site at I'll just go to the inspect. Ayan, para makuha na agad natin or makita na natin yung element tag ng data or yung content na gusto natin i-scrape. Which is yung na-mention ko nga is yung country name, yung capital, population, and area. So, alamin muna natin. So, pag sa country name, as you can see, ang class name niya or is yung country name, which is this, at nasa element tag siya na H3. Kapag as a capital naman, which is this, country capital, at yung element tag niya ay span. And for the population, ayun, country population, tapos yung element tag niya is span ulit din. And lastly, dito sa country area, ayun, class name niya ay country area and also nasa option na span. This also goes with the other then, other content, same lang sila ng class name. And also ng for the country name, capital, population, and area, and so forth. So, madali na lang po. So, ayun. Let's proceed na for another cell in which kukunin nga natin yung country name. So, patulad lang nung pinakita or dinin mo po kanina, i-apply lang natin dito. So, with country. So, soup.find all H3, kasi nga nasa ano siya, H3 element tag. And then, lagyan na lang natin yung class name, which is country name. Then, i-convert na natin siya into text, which, ayun, ginawa lang din natin kanina, for text in country. Then, print natin yung country. Ayan. So, as you can see, ang dami niyang spaces, di ba? So, para ma-remove natin yan, gagamit tayo ng dot strip. Ayan, nawala na siya. See? So, this also goes the same sa capital name. So, kuha lang tayo. Ganun lang din siya, guys. Find all ulit. So, pero iba na yung element tag niya kasi nasa span siya, di ba? And for the attributes, just going to class, which is country, capital. Then, ayun lang din. Capital, which is txt.text, strip, scan. So, tingnan natin kung papakita pa sa capital. Ayun. So, same lang din. Tama. Then, sa population, ganun lang ulit. Find all. Ano siya? And attributes equals to class. And being ng class name ay country population. And same lang siya. So, copy na lang natin kasi. Tingnan natin kung nagkuha ba natin. So, yun, nakuha natin. Ang galing, diba? And area. This is area. This area. Soup, ayan din. Soup.find all span. Then, AVRS. And then, country area. Ayan, so, na-find kasi. Ayan, so nakuha na natin. So now that na-extract na natin yung country name, capital, population area dito sa site, we can now proceed on converting or transforming it into a CSV file. So for that, I believe na itong past jam session, di ba na-discuss na yung sa pandas. So for that, we're going to import yung pandas at gagamitin natin yung data frame function niya. So import pandas as PV. Ayan. So i-convert na natin siya into a data frame. So it's going to need df pv.data frame. Then for the column na country, lalagay natin yung variable na country. For the variable or for the column na capital, lalagay natin yung variable capital. For the population naman, lalagay natin yung variable population. And lastly, for area column, is going to import the variable area. So, ayan. So, DF natin. Read natin. So, ayun. Oh. Ito na siya. So, as you can see, organize niya na tignan, diba? Kasi, nakacategorize na siya kung saang column ba siya dapat. And, tignan natin kung tama ba yung paggawa natin sa data frame, which is Andorra 84,000. Ayan. Mukhang tama naman. So, di ba ang galing? So, ito yung long version niya. Pero may shorter version pa siya. So, paano ba yung shorter version? Gusto ko lang longer kasi wala. Saya. Pero pwede natin siya gawin ng shorter. So, may shorter version pa siya. Which is, ipapass na lang natin yung class name ng bawat isa. So, we can do is all data equals to soup.findAll. Then, just going to add attributes. Ay. Class name niya na. Ayan. So, dito, ipapass lang natin yung country name, yung country capital, country population, and lastly, yung country area. So, ayan. So, convert natin siya all into text. So, text.strip for text and all data. Then, let's print all data. Kung nakuha ba natin. Ayan, nakuha natin. Pero, ang problem lang dito is that, as you can see, guys, wait, let's go sa pinakataas. Ayan, as you can see, guys, this is isang list siya, di ba? Hindi siya yung parang katulad nito, yung pinakita natin or example natin kanina is hiwa-hiwalay. So, kailangan natin gawin pa dito is kailangan natin i-reshape yung data into a 2D list na kung saan sa isang inner list, meron siyang 4 data, which is for the country, capital, the population, and the area. So, to do that, I'm going to create a variable na shape. Shape data na lang. And then, gagawa tayong list comprehension where sa loob ng all data, start tayo ng I plus 4 or I in range, starting tayo sa 0 hanggang sa length na all data, which is ang pinakahuling niya, at nag-i-skip siya bawat 4. So, tingnan natin kung reshape ba natin si all data. Ayun, reshape nga. Reshape naman natin. So, ang saya. So, ayan. As you can see, naka-2D list na siya. Sa isang list, nandito na yung country name, capital, population, and yung area. And same goes. So, ipapass naman natin siya into data frame. So, to do that, ganun lang din, df is equals to td.dataframe. Kung saan ipapasa natin itong si shape data. Then, ipapass natin yung columns na gusto natin ilagay. Which is, ayun nga, yung country, yung capital, yung population, and lastly, the area. So, let's see kung na-convert ba natin siya into PDF. Ayan, o diba? So, na-convert na natin siya into DF, which is same lang din kung mapapansin. So, ayun. Ito yung shorter version. Pero feeling ko baka may shorter pa yan, guys. Ayun. So, basically, yun lang yung pinaka-ano natin. So, let's proceed naman sa other topic, which is yung sa paginated site. Are you guys following back? You can give some reaction naman. So, yan. Thank you. So, ayun, like I said, let's proceed naman sa paginated site. So, ano ba yung paginated site? So, yung paginated site, ito yung mga site na binibreak yung content into a multiple pages. So, an example of site An example of that site is ito, PhotoScript, which makikita nyo, paginated siya kasi may next button siya. Ayan. It can be next button or it can be a number button. So, it really depends. At ayan. So, as you can see, iba-iba yung content niya bawat page. So, ito yung example ng paginated site. So, possible ba siya? Possible ba tayo mag-script sa isang paginated site using Beautiful Soup ba? Yes, possible siya. Pero, of course, you need to create a function for that. So, ito yun. Ito yung code na yun. I already provided na lang. But I will give you guys a rundown kung paano siya nag-work isa-isa. So, in here, I imported time. So, I will discuss later bakit ako nag-import ng time. So, now, i-discuss natin itong dalawang function which is very vital for the pagination, which is yung extract data function at yung pagination function. So, let's first go sa extract data. Dito sa extract data, nag-initialize muna ako ng 3 empty list na kung saan dito ini-store yung mga data or na in-script natin sa isang single page. Which, ang gusto kasi natin i-script is si quotes, si authors, at si tag. And then after that, hinanap natin yung div element container. Kasi kung mapapansin nyo dito, etong ano na to is bawat quotes, authors, and tags, nakalagay sila sa isang div element container. Which, tingnan natin sa inspect. Ayan. Which is nakalagay siya sa isang div container na may klaseng na code. Which is why yun yung ginamit ko para madali yung pag-script natin sa quotes, dun sa text, sa quotes, at sa authors, and also sa tags. Kasi nandun lang sa loob. So, ayun. Pagpasok dito nga sa div, dito na natin kukunin yung sa text, which is ito, nasa class name na text, author, which is nasa class name na author, tag, which is nasa class name na tag. So, kung mapapansin nyo dito sa web-to-script, PhotoScript pala, yung tags niya multiple siya, di ba? Which is why, ang ginawa ko, parang nasa isang string na lang sila, is gumamit ako ng join function para, ayun nga, para ma-convert siya into a single string. And then, after that, kapag na-script niya na yung isang site, i-return niya na yung PD or data frame format nito, which nakalagay na dito yung text, column, authors, and tags. So, next naman is dito sa pagination function. So, dito naman, like I mentioned, dito sa pagination function, siya yung responsible sa pag-navigate sa multiple pages ng bawat quotes and such. So, what happened here is first is, nag-store muna ako ng, or rather, gumawa muna ako ng all data kung saan dito natin i-store yung mga data na nakuha natin per pages. And then after that, nag-set ako ng page number equals to 1, which is this. Kasi ito yung starting page natin para mag-script since lagi naman magsisimula sa 1. So, papasok tayo sa loop. Dito sa loop, basically is, ang purpose niya ako nag-loop is gusto natin ma-script lahat or ma-navigate papuntang sa last pages. Okay? Pero pwede nyo naman palitan or kung gusto nyo i-restrict na hanggang 5 lang, you can also do that by using or by doing it to less than equals to 5, ganon. So, kung ganon lang gusto nyo i-limit na page na gusto nyo i-script, pwede naman yan. So, ayan, pagpasok natin sa a loop, as you can see, nandito yung URL, yung construct URL. So, now you're wondering, saan pa nanggaling itong gantong construct URL na to? So, nanggaling siya dito mismo, ayan. Kinopy ko lang to. As you can see, ito yun. And as you can see, kapag ang nagbabago lang dyan, every time na nagda-next tayo. Okay, next button. Ay, wait. Ayun. Ay, yung page number niya, which is, ayun, di ba kanina 2, which is ngayon 3. So, yun yung, magiging ways natin para makapag-navigate tayo sa different sites, which is why pinasa natin itong si page number. Si page number variable, ayan. So, now, so, the next thing is nag-print ako dito para malaman ko kung asang page number na ba ako at saka asang URL siya. Then, ayun, i-fetch na natin yung website, which using yun nga, yung request.get. So, the next naman, if yung request is nag-fail, hindi siya equals to 200, magpiprint siya ng error message kung saan tayo nag-stop na page and also kung anong reason nung error na yon. Like I said, it's possible sa 403 or 500 or so on. And kapag nag-fail siya, mag-exit siya sa loop. Pero kapag successful naman, i-co-convert natin 'tong site or yung site na 'to, yung URL na ginamit natin into a beautiful object. And then after that, iko-call na natin yung extract data function, which is this, para ma-extract na yung data nung sa page na kung saan tayo, yung current page na kung saan tayo. And yung data na yun ay mapapasok dito sa page data variable. If yung data naman or yung page data na yun na is empty, like wala tayong na-scrape, ibig sabihin lang nun is that wala na nakitang page, wala na nakitang data dun sa page at mag-exit na tayo sa loop. It's either nasa end na tayo ng page or and so forth. So, mag-break na tayo if ganun. And if meron pa naman, ayun, mag-append lang yung nakuha nating data dito sa function, sa extract data, at ilalagay dito sa all data. And then after that, is that mag-i-increment na yung page natin to +1 para makapag-navigate tayo sa next page nito. And then, ayun, like, di ba nga sinabi ko, nag-import tayo ng time. So, the reason bakit tayo nag-import ng time is kailangan binigay ko tong time.zip into 5. So, bakit natin kailangan yan? So, the reason for that is because kailangan natin i-avoid ma-overwhelm yung website server. Kasi kapag tuloy-tuloy tayong nagda-navigate at nag-extract sa bawat page, may possibilities na mag-down yung site, 'di ba? And ayun, magko-cause na it's either ang tawag doon, it's either na hindi tayo makapag-scrape or i-eject tayo and so forth. Which is why kailangan dahan-dahan tayo sa i-scrape dun sa sites. Kaya kailangan natin ng break in between pag na-navigate. So, ayan. So, finally, kapag na-collect na lahat yung data, ayun, i-merge lang ulit siya sa isang data frame at i-return it. So, ito yun. Like I said, ito yung site. Then, ito yung pagination function. Just going to call it. At ayan. Tingnan natin kung nag-work siya. Ayan, nag-start na yung scraping from page number 1. Page number 2. Page number 3. Okay, may pagkamatagal talaga siya. So, bear with me, guys. Kasi nga, ang haba nung waiting natin or nung break time natin in between sites. So, kailangan natin wait talaga. Or you can also actually, ang tawag doon, ibahin to. It can be 2, 3. Pero kailangan talaga may ganito siya. So, yan. 8, 9. Since alam ko 10 page lang to si Code to Screen. So, ayan. Hanggang 10 page lang dapat siya. So, ayun. Since wala na nakita kay page 11, kasi si page 11 hindi siya nag-exist. So, tignan natin kung nakuha ba natin sa site yung data inside of this code. Which is, nakuha natin. Diba ang galing? And, ayan, nakuha natin yung code ni authors, yung authors at yung tag. So, kasi tama ba? Just going first page. Ayun, so same naman lahat. So, yeah, we have successfully scraped the data from a paginated site. So, basically, ganun lang siya. Ganun lang talaga kasimple when it comes to Beautiful Script. So, I hope you guys learned something new. Nagas niyo ba? Ganun lang talaga siya kasimple. Ay, wait. I'm going to check na lang sa let me check yung chat box. Push. Ay, ayun. Ayan. So, yun lang siya, guys. Na-understand niyo ba? So, I guess, yeah, basically kung feeling niyo parang ang underwhelming niya, 'di ba? Kasi ang simple lang, find and find all, nakukuha na agad yung mga ano. Pero really guys, everything starts with the basic din. Pero imagine din kahit basic lang 'to or parang simple lang yung gagamitin natin function, we can able to script different, well, mga static site lang naman. Site, but mga static site, which is, 'di ba, ang galing. Also, gusto ko lang include is that if you're going to use Selenium or rather explore Selenium, yung function nilang dalawa, nung Beautiful Soup and Selenium, is actually quite the same in a way na imagine mo is yung find, di ba dito sa Beautiful Soup, find and find all, di ba? Pero kay Selenium, same lang siya, pero which is find element, which is equivalent ng find, and find elements with S, equivalent ng find all. At kung gusto natin siya i-convert sa text, text lang din yun. So, ganun lang kasimple. May same connection din yung dalawa, yung Selenium and Beautiful Soup. Kaso nga lang with Selenium is, you have to, ano ba yun? You have to include a lot of prerequisites para lang gumana siya sa collab. And I recommend you to see this. So, dito guro yan eh. So, copy-paste nyo na lang po kung gusto nyo i-script din sa Selenium. Kasi same lang din siya in a way. Dito lang siya. Ayan. So, dito lang siya. Basta, bali ka-copy nyo na lang to. Yung mga, ayan, yung odd arguments yan. And you are good to go sa Selenium. Yun lang. So, I hope you guys learned something new. Ay, let's proceed na pala sa activity pala. So, since subjects. Dati yung activity nyo, which is simple lang naman siya. So, ang goal here sa activity nyo is choose a genre dito sa book to script. So, ang itsura ng book to script is here. Ayan. So, mamili lang kayo ng genre. It's either travel, mystery, historical fiction, and so on. And the goal here is that you have to script the title of the page, which is this, the price here, at kung ano yung ratings niya. Like, 1 star lang ba, 3 star, 5 stars. I also put naman na yung tawag doon, yung itsura ng dapat ng CSV file, which is ito. So, yun lang. And yung file format, ayan na rin. Ito na yun. So, yun lang guys. I hope you guys learned something new and I really appreciate you guys for joining kahit, nako, parang hindi pa naman tapos yung sem break. Ganun. Ayun, yun lang. So, I guess we can proceed na lang sa other part. I really wait.
Yan. Wow, grabe naman yun, guys. Thank you so much po, Miss Angelica Laura, for that amazing discussion. Grabe, the quality and quantity ng natutunan namin tonight are really serving for everyone. Ang galing niyo po mag-explain, especially po yung mga complex concepts made simple and fun for everyone. Ang bilis nga po, pero yung natutunan namin is super dami. And I'm sure everyone here feels the same way. Ikaw, El, madami ka bang natutunan?
Oh, especially dun sa pagde-declare ng mga variables and functions, napaka-concise pala ng paggamit natin ng Colab kasi hindi na natin kailangan mag-install and all we have to do is to press run. Ayun. Ayun, sa paggagamit natin ng web scraping. Ayun.
Ayan, kayo guys, agree ba kayo sa sinabi ko? Marami ba kayo natutunan for tonight? Ayan, madaming hearts and like reacts. Alright, mukhang agree naman kayo, no? So again, thank you so much for Ate Angelica for that amazing discussion. Now, it's time for the most exciting part of the session, the Q&A part. This is your chance to clarify anything, dive deeper into specific topics, or ask about the real-world applications of what we learned for tonight. Feel free to type your questions in the chat or raise your hand if you want to ask directly. We have also set up a Slido for you to submit your questions anonymously. You can find the link in the chat or scan the QR code on the screen presented right now.
And also remember, there's no such thing as a bad question. Ask away, guys. Don't be shy. Whether you're curious about how to handle specific challenges, want tips for optimizing your scraping projects, or just need a quick clarification, this is the perfect time to ask. Kumbaga, this is your moment to pick the brain of an expert. Wow, expert Tosa. So let's go. Drop those questions in the chat. Use the Slido link or raise your hand right now. Remember, the more you ask, the more you learn. Ayun, the Slido website will be presented right now. Let's just wait for it. Ayun, from Anonymous, ayun, are there any unethical examples of web scraping?
An ethical example? Well, it really depends kasi case to case situation siya. I guess yung ayun nga, may mga site nga talaga na private siya, 'di ba? Like sa government and so, hindi ko lang alam. Pero parang yun lang, pero wala kasi ako na-encounter or masyado lang akong mababait na tao. Pero alam kong meron, so far as I know. So, hindi ko siya mabigyan ng example talaga. Meron ba? Alam ko meron lang, pero hindi ko alam kung ano. Yun lang masasabi ko.
Yun ang the second question naman po. Ano pong gamit yung code auto-completion yung parang sa Copilot?
Actually, sa collab, ang galing nga niya, parang sa Gemini lang din 'to, hindi ko lang alam kung paano siya i-ano, kasi automatic na siya dito, eh. So, hindi ko lang alam kung paano yun. So kasi nung ginagamit ko na yung collab, automatically na siya naggaganyan, parang Copilot din. I guess you can guys search it na lang ata, pero meron siya, which is ang napapadali talaga yung buhay nating mga coders, kasi tap-tap ka lang, ayun, complete na yung code mo, 'di ba? Sino ayaw ng gano'n?
Yan. For the next question is, hi po, pwede po malaman if meron po kayong recommended na YouTuber or platform to advance study or further learn? Thank you po.
Oh, yeah. Actually nag-provide ako dito rin sa collab. I don't know if nakikita niyo ba. Sa pinaka down, lower part is meron siya ditong reference at nandito sila Alex the Analyst and Kate Gali yung ginamit kong, site na ayun, to do the demo. So ayun, they're both si Alex the Analyst siya, focus kasi siya sa data analyst talaga. So na-explain niya dito yung sa mga SQL, sa Power BI, and so forth. Pero kay Kate Gali, dito naman is ina-explore niya yung sa data science. So dito matutunan niyo lalo yung sa pag-ano sa pandas, even NLTK, dine-discuss niya. And also, alam ko pati sklearn. So, actually si Kate Gali, yun lang. Tsaka ang maganda rin kay Kate Gali for me is, alam niyo yung feeling na hindi siya yung parang ang galing-galing niya, pero magaling talaga siya. Yung parang normal, like us programmer. Kasi during sa mga live session niya is nagse-search din siya kapag hindi niya alam, which is, ayun nga, very natural naman sa'tin yun. Kaya yun, parang hindi siya nakaka-overwhelm. Parang, anong tawag dun? You feel ano lang, feel relax, gano'n.
Yan. For the next question po, ay hindi daw siya question. Pero kung web dev po ako, ang gagawin ko po sa paginated page ay imbes na 1, 2, 3, gagawin daw na page 1, page 2, page 3 para mahirapan sila.
Paiba-iba. Well, actually, gamit sa Selenium, maano pa yan. Tapos kasi kay Selenium, may kasi siya eh, may function na dot click button. So, pipindutin niya yung click button, so magpapaginate na siya sa different sites. So, I guess regardless na ganyan yung gawin mo, pwede pa rin siya ma-access.
Ayun, up ko lang dito, sinagot yung question kanina din, additional from JP, na meron daw limitation sa pag-script and nag-a-add daw ng robots.txt sa dulo. So you can see dito sa chat. Yan. And si Kuya Christian din, nagsabi siya na may built-in AI code inline completion sa mismong Google Colab. As in may button talaga siya for AI assistance na pwedeng mag-provide sa atin ng quick code. Yun. For the next question po, is it possible po kaya na ma-import po yung na web script sa Excel? If yes, pwede pong pa-explain how. Thank you po. Yun.
Actually, yes. Kasi di ba kasi pwede natin i-save yung dito yung ginawa nating CSV file using ayun nga, yung .2_CSV, which I feel like na-discuss siya nung past jam session sa Pandas. And ayun, yung na-save na yun, pwede natin siyang i-download at pwede natin siyang import sa Excel. So, yeah, basta lang nasa-save nyo siya at also nada-download nyo siya dito sa machine nyo. Pwede yan.
Ayun, next question po. Hello P. May G Classroom po ba for the activity? Uwu. So mamaya po, i-discuss po kami and actually meron po kaming Google Classroom for our activities. Ayun. Ako na din sumagot ang tanong. Ayun. Sige, go ahead, Ivan.
Ayan, next is, asan na yan? Ayan, may makakuha daw pa silang e-certificates para kay JB.
Meron ba? Charot. Meron naman, di ba? Ay, hindi ko rin sure. Meron daw, sabi. Pero di sure,
Hello.
no?
Yes,
Oo,
meron.
meron.
Ayan.
Wait na lang po, guys. Ayan, for the next question is for Ate Angela. Pwede rin po ba mag-web script ng videos for a specific website?
For that, alam ko, ang kaya nyo lang i-script is yung mismong, yung link nung video. Kasi di ba parang pag nag-embed tayo ng video sa isang site, parang naka-link format siya, di ba? So, yun lang yung pwede natin ma-script, yung link. And, possible save images from mag-script website.
Ayun, ang daming questions. Ayun, isang question, is it possible po ba to script and save images from websites?
Like, same din sa management ko regarding sa video, ang may script nyo lang talaga is yung mismong link. Pero alam ko merong way to convert that image, yung script mong link into image talaga. Pero di ko na alam po paano since, ayun, ang mga in-escape ko lang is mga text na kung ano. After matapos sa activity, ay gusto ko yun. Ano na po ang gagawin natin? Ang gagawin natin ay matulog, magpahinga, at i-enjoy ang natitirang sem break kasi nakaka-stress na. Sa sem na naman, yan lang. Yun ang gagawin natin after the activity.
Yan, for the last question is, lahat po ba ay makaka-receive ng e-certificate? Yes po, basta po makakasagot po kayo ng feedback form namin na represent namin mamaya. We will also send the links sa chat box.
Yun, I think that's all the question for our Slido. Dito ba sa ating presentation, may mag-raise hand ba or sa chat? Ayun, meron pa bago. May pahabol. Bakit hindi po kami inallow mag-web script sa thesis po for our data set? Ooh.
Legit ba? Hala, parang alam ko nga from other alumni is pwede daw, parang ang web-script, parang ginamit nga nilang data na in-script is from Twitter. Gumapit ata sila ng Twitter API for that. But really, tsaka naman ng professor. Uy, naka-record pala to. Yun lang masasabi ko. Pero alam ko pwede yun kasi from before alumni, mga dati, pwede naman siyang gamitin, lalo na kung align naman siya dun, yung data na gagamitin yun, dun sa gagawin yung model. So, pwede yun as far as I know. Pero I guess it depends nga per prof. So,
Ayun. Pero consult din with the prof about dun sa thesis natin. Sa mga mag-thesis pa lang. Yun. Ang ganda ng mga tanong guys dito sa ating Slido. So parang mga future data scientist na talaga kayo. Grabe kayo mag-isip, advanced mag-isip, saka grabe yung critical thinking ha. I
Oh,
can
you know.
visualize na magiging data scientist talaga tayo someday. Keep it up guys.
That's right. Super insightful and helpful na mga questions nila, especially for everyone that needs clarification. That's why asking questions is very important in the process of learning.
But wait. We are not done yet. Before we officially close, we have someone special who will leave us with some final words of wisdom to inspire us as we continue our web scraping journey. Everyone, please welcome Jen Patrick Nataba, our data and ML co-lead, to share some closing remarks. Yan.
Ayan. Hello, everyone. So hopefully you guys had a very, very, very relaxing break. So yeah, this is the first event of this year. Actually, no, first of many siya kasi we have a lot more events lined up for you guys for this year. So yeah, just to put emphasis sa topic ng event natin, which is web scraping. Si web scraping kasi, isa siya sa actually powerful na data gathering tool when kasi it is one of the ways that we can bridge gaps between, let's say, raw data and AI innovation. Kasi diba sa internet is basically a mine of various information na, let's say, ranging from customer reviews sa Shopee hanggang sa live traffic updates sa mga sa Wiz or sa Grab or anything na related sa traffic apps. So, pero hindi natin kayang or rather hindi efficient na i-manual copy-paste natin lahat ng data na yun, di ba? So, ayun, doon pumapasok si web scraping. So, it basically automates the data gathering for you na mag-write ka na lang ng script to get the data from that certain app or website. And then, yeah, siya na yung mag-extract ng data instead of actually manually doing it yourself. So, si web scraping, it actually, again, let me emphasize na it plays a crucial role when it comes to AI development. Dahil siya yung nagpo-provide sa mga models or siya yung nagpo-provide ng tool to extract diverse datasets from the internet na kailangan para matrain yung mga machine learning models natin. So by automatically extracting data from websites like Shopee, we can extract text, reviews, or user interactions. Sabihin natin yung mga threads, yung mga reviews sa Shopee, or even sa Twitter, yung mga threads, di ba? Maraming user interactions doon. In that way, nakokolekta ang real-world information which are used to train different models. Now, usually may mga data cleaning or data wrangling na naganap after mo ma-extract yung data na to. And yeah, pero yeah, to give more information, let's say na nagte-train tayo ng NLP, Natural Language Processing na model. So, pwede tayo mo-extract ng data mula sa Reddit post or Reddit threads or sa Twitter, di ba? Sa mga news sites or other social medias na in return, gagamitin natin yung data na extract na yon para i-train si NLP model to understand at gumawa ng human-like responses. Sabihin natin sa, let's say, computer vision naman. So, ang mga images at videos na nakuha natin via scraping ay pwede ring mag-improve ng object recognition capabilities ng mga models natin. So yeah, super dami niyang application. However, meron pa rin tayong ethical concerns, lalo na sa pagdating sa pag-i-scrape ng mga private or copyrighted na data. So, let's say na yung kinuha nating images or videos online ay maaaring personal info. Pwedeng mukha ng tao yan, or let's say may private property, copyrighted content, or something na locked behind a paywall. It wouldn't be ethical to just, steal that data, di ba? So, syempre, may pina-follow tayong guidelines when it comes to that. And yeah, I believe na-share ni JP dito yung isang way, which is to use the robots.txt, which will enable you to know whether pwede or hindi scrape yung data na yun. Okay? Pero this does not really mean na we should avoid web scraping at all. what we can do is do responsible scraping na tinatawag nila. So responsible scraping in which we will follow the terms of services ng website na pagkukuhanan natin ng info. So if you guys have private data, you should anonymize that sensitive information since yeah, it's private data nga naman. And again, if you are going to be creating an open source project or rather gagamitin sa mga public platforms, be transparent when it comes to these things. Kung ano yung mga data na scrap mo and how you will use that certain data sa project mo. Okay? So yeah, the point is kahit challenging, ang ethical scraping ay still possible given some guidelines. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, before I forget, meron pa rin kaming slots for data camp scholarship. Actually, we're almost running out of slots na for data camp scholarship. So if you guys are not scholars yet, please do apply na kasi we will run out of slots soon. Yeah. We have a lot more events lined up for you guys for the next few days. So yeah, stay tuned and thank you.
Thank you so much, Jen, for those inspiring words. Grabe ang lakas ng impact ng session natin tonight. Imagine for our second workshop series, we have 100 plus participants. Thank you so much all for participating and listening to our workshop. And before we officially wrap up, let's make sure we don't miss out on a few important things. First, don't forget to fill out our feedback form. This will serve as your attendance for tonight's session. And yes, as always, may additional X parties yan for everyone who completes it. You can scan the QR code on your screen right now, and we'll also drop the link in the chat for your convenience.
And that's not all. We will also share all the workshop materials and resources on our Google Classroom so you can revisit everything we've covered tonight. Yun yung sagot sa question kanina. Plus, for those who want to connect with fellow learners, feel free to share your social media handles in the chat box. Ayan, mag-clout-clout na tayo. Or join our networking channels in Messenger, whether you are a data and ML cadet, a datacam scholar, or just someone who is passionate about learning. This is your chance to build your connections and grow together.
Absolutely right, El. Sabi nga nila, di ba? Your network is your net worth. So let's take this opportunity to support each other, share insights, and keep the learning momentum going even after tonight. Kasi marami pang workshops ang paparating. Remember, this is only the first part of the many, many workshops that we will have.
Ayan, and then, with that being said, it's time for the moment we are all waiting for. Ayan, the group photo. Let's make this day memorable, guys. Ayan, 100 katao ang nandito sa chat, sa ating call. Wow, grabe. It's overwhelming. So, open your cams, guys. Huwag kayong mahiya. Kahit galing pa kayo sa kama, kakakain pa lang ng hapunan. Yan, lubas lang kayo, guys. And we highly encouraged to use the GDG blue background. As you can see sa background namin ni Ivan. Ayan. Kasi it signifies our team as data and machine learning team. Yan. So yun. Open ka muna lahat. Saan kayo guys? Puro pogs nakikita ko. Yun, ang daming tao dito. Hello guys. Yun. So, for the first photo, yan, help na lang po sa mga sa mga staffs and other Googlers, yan. Let's do a classic normal pose muna. O, ngiti muna tayo. Just like how we scrape the data of our dreams. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. Ayan. Now for the second pose. Yan. Gawin na natin ang GDG pride natin, our GDG signature sign like this. Yan. Para sa hindi familiar ito. Okay? Everyone do your GDG signature sign. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3, click. Thank you so much. Ayan.
Ayan, thank you so much everyone for participating and joining us at Web Scraping, getting data from the web. Remember, every expert, whether it's a data scientist, a developer, or a web scraping pro, once stood exactly where you are now, eager to learn, eager to grow, and maybe a little overwhelmed at first, but look at how far you've come just by showing up tonight. So keep scraping, keep exploring, and let your curiosity lead you to new heights. The web is full of data to be discovered, and you now have the tools to unlock it.
And this is just the beginning of your journey. Whether you're here to level up your skills, pivot your career, or just satisfy your curiosity, remember the best way to learn is to start. So take what you learned tonight, experiment. It's okay to make mistakes, and keep pushing forward. We can't wait to see where this journey takes you. Until next time, guys, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep coding. Thank you, and have a good night, everyone. Thank you,
Thank you
guys.
po. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bukas yan, no? Evaluation day.
Yan guys, you can access the evaluation form sinend po ni JP dito sa ating meeting chat. Thank you so much again, everyone. Lalong-lalo na sa ating speaker, si Miss Angela.
Yes, super galing niya kung mag-explain.
Grabe,
Oh,
sabi niya kagabi, kinakabahan daw siya. Parang wala namang kaba dun sa
guys,
explanation
wala
ni...
akong piso. Wala akong pang Gcash. So, really, thank you guys sa pag-attend. Really appreciate it. Also, thank you din sa inyo, Ivan and El. Also kay JP andyan and also kay Benedict. Yun lang. Bye-bye, guys. Also, good luck sa second sem.
Oo nga
Bye-bye.
guys, good luck. Sana enrolled na kayo and kompleto na yung grades natin.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you po. Walang COR.